Lego Nation, it's Lego Nathan, and today we're taking a look at my Lego Ben 10. Goop is a very hard character to build out of Legos. He's very gooey, he's very goopy, as the name implies, and he's even sort of a little uneven. So yeah, this is what I ended up doing. You can see he's got his hands here with his fingers. Some fingers are longer than others, so I just sort of portrayed that by some hands have more studs on the fingers. It's kind of tight, like you can't move around too much or stuff will start to break off because it's just very specific how it's built, you know. But he can rotate at the waist, swivel his hands a little as I was just doing, but the waist is mainly it. And legs don't really move. Legs were fun because I knew I wanted him to be 3 studs wide. And there was really no way to do that, but when you realize that Goop, one leg is sort of taller than the other, then this perfect opportunity here shows up. And another challenge was, should I use all translucent pieces? There just isn't enough translucent pieces, and in the end, they didn't look as accurate as just using sort of a blend of mostly this color. I'd recommend is the best color, but this color's really good too. That's sort of what his insides look like, and then the outside is this sort of lighter green, more of an olive. His head up here also pretty challenging, because he's got a tall head. It's tall. I couldn't get the eyes in there, but I could draw them on the minifig head. And this potion piece, it just ended up working so perfectly. If only it didn't have this part at the bottom that sticks out, but it's the shape of the top of his head basically, and that was awesome. And it has this. I'll stick that back on his head. His head is actually, watch out guys, if we turn his head around. Dun, dun, dun. Creepy witch head or zombie. I don't know where that came from. That might be it kind of looks like maybe we drew on that. I don't know. Turn that back around. So, yeah, that's Lego Goop. And now, let's take a look at how to build him. Wait a minute. There's also this. We got here his UFO, which holds him together. Because he's so goopy, he got this UFO that I built and hangs above him with translucent pieces to keep him composed. Okay, now we get to how to build. So this one, you can really tell what every piece is, but I'll still sort of go through it a bit. So we got one of these, clips into one of those, and one of these translucent ones, which goes into one of those. The other foot is the same, except for you don't have that at the bottom, which keeps them even. So you're going to clip them like so. Now for the body, we're going to take one of these, put a pin in it. Now attach that to one of these. Press that in until it should click. It usually makes a clicking sound. I guess not today. So now, we're going to add on to that one of these. I have this piece, but it doesn't have to have the lip on it. You don't end up seeing it because it's in the back anyway, but that's what I found, and I was like, yeah, maybe it adds to the goopiness. Put on one of those, and now we're going to add, that's one square translucent green, and lime cheese slope, or I guess I was calling it olive earlier. And that's a body. Let's stick that just right on here. Woo! Now, for the hands. The hands are pretty similar. So, we got, there's the focus. One of these. Got a couple of these in the build. Then, one of these and a stud. These cylinders. Now we're going to get another one of those cylinders. Put that on there. And then put one of these on. The other hand, because it's a tad different, it is basically the same, except for instead of this at the end, it's a green one of these. But, the color, I suppose, was very hard, and so it doesn't have to specific greens. I think all the greens sort of work, but this is just what I found and what I think kind of looked best. If you had every single one of these pieces in just this color, I think that's what I would go with, but I just don't. And let's stick these hands in. Now for the head, which very simple. Potion, green head, and tendrils and green stud to give it a little more height to it. See, if only this one part didn't stick out, if only it was flush with the minifig head. And you stick that on, and you have Goop. But if you want to build his UFO, it itself is very simple. It's only 2 pieces. One of these for the saucer bit, and then it has this part that sticks out. And then the other part that should stick out is already built into the piece. Yeah. But how to hang it? Let's get into that. So we're gonna stick one of these in there, which it might push out this, but you just gotta leave it hanging a little bit. Now we take some of these, clip them on, and then get 9 of these, clip them on, so it's basically the same height as Goop. He's about 9 blocks tall, and then it gives it a little extra height with these plates we added at the top. But then I got one of these to make it just even go over his head, because if it was like this, it'd be the same height as him, but that wouldn't go over his head. So we add one last at the bottom. You could just add 2 more of these, but this makes it a lot more stable. And then after that, I just added a blue plate to keep it even more looking stable. And that is a Goop. Hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe for more Ben 10 Aliens and other fun Lego builds.